Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Why is that just popped up? There we go. Welcome back to the channel. My name is John. I am your Play Fight champion. I'm joined by the legendary Regan, Larry, and Alex. Guys, how's everyone today?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm good. It's a lovely, beautiful, bright day here where I am. So it's nice. It's all
I've
nice.
got a blind shut, so I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Outside.
Yeah, I'm avoiding the outside world because it kind of looks a bit grim and a bit light. Who knows?
The outside sucks. That's why I'm always inside. But yeah, why are we all here today? Well, today's video, we are going to discuss the very first game we remember playing as a kid. This one I've spoke about at length on other videos on podcast, so I think mine's quite obvious, but I'm interested to hear like everyone else's. So I think I like Alex's idea last time of going in alphabetical order. So even though he's stuffing his face full of food, I'm going to go over first to Alex. Alex, what was the first game you remember playing as a kid? What do you remember playing growing up?
My first game I remember playing when I was little was probably the one I got at the top of my head was when I was playing on my PS2 and my cousins, and I played GTA 3.
That was your first game you played?
Oh yeah, that was one of the first games. But then also, the only other one I remember playing was when I told you, Larry, was SmackDown. That was on the PS1.
Two? Was that SmackDown 2?
You know the one that we bought at the shop? It was was it
SmackDown 2?
SmackDown 2. Yeah, that was another one I played. That was one of the other ones I played quite young. But yeah, like because when I was little, like wrestling, my cousins watched a lot of wrestling when I was little. So like back in the early 2000s, like WWE was quite big anyway. Yeah. Yeah, it was like because when I used to go around my cousins when I was little, we used to put the wrestling on and watch it, and then they had the game on the PS1, and I remember playing it, and I just thought it was so cool just to like have. It wasn't like a gory fighting game that was. You know, it wasn't
Mortal Kombat, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was just quite enjoyable.
Although, ironically, I think one of your first memories is GTA 3, and God knows how old you were then.
GTA 3, I probably was, say, about 6, maybe 7.
Oh my God. Wow.
I remember, do you know what I used to do? I used to get in the cars, and because when you drive off into the water, you can't swim, you just drown. I kept doing that all the time. I remember doing it.
That was a weird time. I always say with GTA, you drowned every time you hit the walls. It was a weird time. Could you do that in Vice City as well?
Yeah, Vice City, you drowned. No, Vice City, you drowned as well. It was San Andreas that they first announced.
They start swimming. It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Weird time.
It was funny though, because like you just drive in the water and your bloke's just drowning.
I remember I think the police used to like just try and head them into the water because all of them would drown.
Literally,
I remember that.
Yeah.
So I think if I had to see,
a kid was probably the one that I've got on my head was probably GTA 3 on the PS2.
I would say GTA 3. I mean GTA. I'm trying to think when my first time I ever saw someone. I know what it was. I was 11. No, it would have been 11 because they had it on the Vita. No, not Vita. PSP. I think it was I don't know which one it would have been on the PSP. Would it be in San Andreas?
No, it would have been.
City,
it might have been Chinatown.
Oh yeah.
No. It was not. I don't think it was China because they would keep doing the tank cheat.
No, it was Liberty City Stories.
That's it. Yeah.
Another one.
Oh yeah, because I remember that was always the thing. I think.
And then you had Vice City Stories, which was the black guy that was in the army.
Yeah, that one.
I don't even remember the story.
Yeah, I can't remember the story either. Yeah, no.
I think I have it.
All I remember was him being a soldier. That was all I remember. He come out of war and.
Yeah, because I remember. I think I watched like GTA 4 quite a bit on a YouTube channel called MGH, or I think it was Matt HD Gamer when I think it was originally known as.
Yeah.
At the time on PS3, but I didn't play GTA until I got given it when I was about 16, 17. And that was the first time I actually played one. Until then, I had never played a GTA. So no, for that to be you to have it at 6 is kind of like wow. Very, very
Explains a lot, doesn't it?
parents.
I remember the very first GTA London, GTA 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that was like
With a
if
little-
anyone
with a
has
little top- with
never
a
seen the
top-down view.
video, the audio for GTA London, please watch it. It is the funniest thing ever.
And every time you die, brown bread, I was like, that's brilliant.
It's just funny, isn't it? It's funny, like looking at them as to what GTA is now.
I mean, like I know the audio for the GTA London was actually done by the developers, so that's why it
Yeah.
sounds like someone just tried to add a hard voice on it because it really wasn't. They really couldn't find anyone. It was just like the developers. It just sounds so bad, but it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
don't sound good.
Wait. Mine is probably one of the coolest things you've actually heard.
So I mean,
you know,
at the time it was wicked. Like at the
Yeah.
time you didn't know any different.
No, but it was
I wish
funny.
there were more games in London. I really wish they would do another GTA in London.
Yeah.
I mean, the nearest thing we've got is Getaway and Watch Dogs. That's about it.
Yeah, no.
Mm.
Not
But
too
the thing-
far
Getaway
with
was
them, to
quite
be
good.
honest.
Getaway was
So
quite good.
Getaway
game.
was damn good.
Yeah.
I wish they would bring it back.
Yeah.
Didn't
I
they?
liked
Getaway?
it. Yeah, it was alright. I don't know.
Bumming around. Brilliant.
What's that?
Bumming around in a little black cab was brilliant.
Yeah.
Trying to get away from the.
Yeah, that's true.
The
How
one thing
different
that was
is that?
funny, it was just like a little it was like the top-down view, and obviously, you know, when Chinatown come out, it was basically the same as that.
Yeah,
no, it
yeah.
is.
It was all, it was all top-down view.
Weird time for gaming, wasn't it? Very weird time.
Yeah.
Go on then, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Go on.
Because mine's interesting. Because my first, I think I don't remember. I remember the first time. I think I remember like proper memories I have. Because I know there's like a video of me where we were in. I think it was Austria, where I think my dad found a PlayStation 1 online and was playing a sports game. I don't know what it was. I can't remember what it is. All I remember, I've seen it in the videos. But my proper memory I have was I would have been around 4 or 5, I think. And for Christmas, I was given a PlayStation 2. And with that, I was given Gran Turismo 3, Spyro Enter the Dragon, Raymond M, I think it was called the racing one, if anyone remembers that.
I actually don't.
It was a racing one. I think it was called Raymond M. I'll have to double check that. And Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets at the time. And I mean, I remember like the memories. I think like the first game I touched was Raymond. And I think I touched a little bit of Spyro. My dad, I think, started off playing Gran Turismo 3, and then like years later, I started playing it properly.
Yeah.
And then Harry Potter, I just love playing it. I mean, I always remember like the beginning bit when you're at the Burrow, Mrs. Weasley shouting at Ron and Fred and George Weasley and doing the gnome challenge and going around, sneaking around certain locations in Diagon Alley and everything. Oh, I mean, that one, I think of everything, I remember those memories more. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Spyro Into the Dragon, I know it has its failures and problems and everything with that, but I still remember playing it. The music was great and had some, I really enjoyed my time playing it at the time. And Raymond M, but I've just been playing it a lot. I never got that far into it. I just remember I think I did about 1 or 2 races in that,
Yeah.
never completed it. But then again, I was about 4 or 5, so I never knew better. But Harry Potter, I literally still own it, will never sell it. That game, I think, was the reason I started playing gaming properly, was because of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And I still love it. I still love playing those those games from PlayStation 2 days. They are, for me, some of the best of all time. And I mean, yes, they haven't got the real voices, but the music's great. It has Stephen Fry speaking in it. I don't care. And you have some really cool things. Like I think Peeves is in there. You have the duels, which are really fun. You have to fight with the basilisk and everything. And then obviously Diagon Alley, where you buy everything and you're doing all the challenges. And they're great. Absolutely great fun. I still love that game now. Still brilliant. Yeah.
I've played it. I don't think I got very far into it. I think
How far were you into it, Alvin?
honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think because when I was younger, we used to have a lady used to come around like once a week, and she was like a blockbuster that come to you. So
Okay.
hire games from her, And then obviously when you come back at the end of the week, you'd swap the games over, whatever. And I'm pretty sure that was my experience with it. I would have had it for the week and then swapped it out for something else. So I remember playing it. I just don't remember getting very far into it. But it was a good game. It's something I'd go and pick
Oh,
up.
it's a great game. I mean, the music in it is still brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, like that was probably the first like PlayStation 2 like real Harry Potter game. So they did bring up the first one, but about a couple of years later.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, ironically, I was trying to remember get the first game, and it turns out I remember trying to find it, and it turned out the game was really expensive, and it turns out probably because they actually had just come out. I didn't know about at the time. Also, I think it turns out it's actually a pretty rare game to find. So no, I mean, with Chamber Secret, I remember just loving that game. I still play it. I remember I used to when I was a kid with my sister. I would dress up like in because I had the Marks and Spencers, other shops are available. Gryffindor cloak. They did. I remember every time I used to play that, I used to wear the cloak. Me and my sister would just play that together all the time, try and get as far as we could. I mean, it took a long time. I mean, it took me 6 years, but then again, I didn't play it all the flipping time, and I think it was also, I think at the time when I very much had it, I didn't have a memory card, so I kept playing the first bit. But then again, I just loved.
Yeah, who remembers that?
Then again, my parents didn't know it was a thing, so but I loved playing it. I didn't care. I loved just playing the baguettes with the gnomes and just swinging them out and putting them into hay bales and all sorts and trying to chuck them as. Oh, they were brilliant. You can't not love them.
At the time as well, you don't know any different. Like, you don't know, oh, without a memory card, I can't go any further than this. You just think, oh, this is the game.
You could play as long as you can. It would probably take you, I don't know, a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Depending. But no, I think you can do it in one sitting if you want to. And I wouldn't say there's no problem with it. I have no problems with that. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I might have to go and pick up a copy and play through it.
I think Chamber Secrets is not too hard. It's the other one, the next chapter, Philosopher's Stone, is the hardest one. I mean, I've seen prices of that game go for like £20 to £30.
Okay.
Like some even to hundreds. I mean, I was lucky enough to find a copy of for £8.
Yeah.
And I immediately saw it and bought it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that price if it's going at a lot higher.
Oh no, it's just hard finding.
Oh, makes sense.
I bought you a little gift, John.
Ah!
This is Ralph.
We got Ralph.
Look at little Ralph. He's 9 months old.
Oh, bless him.
He's such a big boy for 9 months.
Yeah, isn't he? How chilled he is. Mine's like getting all up in my grill.
Yeah, he's quite
nice.
chilled, isn't you, Ralph?
Nice
Quite
and
chilled.
mellow.
Yeah.
Go on, Riggs. First game you remember playing as a kid?
Where do I begin? Sega Mega Drive.
Oh, nice, old school.
So you're probably looking at Sonic. There was a Tasmanian Devil game. It was Terminator.
There was a good Terminator game on there. Wasn't that Terminator 2? Where it just kept on going and going and going and going and going without really any checkpoints or anything.
Yeah, pretty much. It just carried on. And then there was also Doom on the PC.
Oh, man.
That was the early days.
And then I've got like Croc for the PlayStation, GTA for the PlayStation. There was something else that was out. So I think there was like a full game at some point as well that I remember playing. Never been any good at playing. Never really been good at gaming since like day dot of me starting.
Same,
now, I just do it for a bit of fun and the fact it's somewhere to disappear into, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
it's escape from realism.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember playing Mega Drive as a kid. Obviously, I'm that old compared to some of you. But yeah, no, Sonic. I spent like hours playing that. Taz game that I had. I remember plugging hours into it. Didn't get anywhere. Like you would go up onto this like little level, and then you'd spin to kill an enemy, and then you just go back then and down. And you have to go back up again, and it was like,
yeah.
Well, that's Taz, mate. That's Taz for you. Just completely uncontrollable.
Yeah, so I thought, oh, I'll wait a few years back again. And yeah, I think when I was about, what, 11, 12, picked it up. And I was like, oh, I'll see, obviously, how it is. I still didn't get anywhere. It literally just happened. I couldn't even get up to the first bit. I was like, how? Oh, yeah, and there was also Lion King as well. I remember
No,
playing. And you had
Yes.
I was just going to mention that. Right, there's 2 games I've not picked up recently, but 2 games I've played on my Mega Drive recently. Aladdin and Lion King. And
Oh,
Which you can now play on, they've now remastered, and you can now play on Switch
Yeah.
and physically as well, which is really nice.
it's not the same. Give me the old school feel. And I remember playing them as a kid, and I used to get so frustrated because I could get past the first level and then die on the second level. And I think to myself, right, I'm an adult now. I've got my stuff together. Not really. That's what I tell myself.
No.
And I can
No,
do it,
old
and I'm
school
still
games, like
stuck.
even I have to admit it, you try and play games like of the old days, it's like another level. Like
Literally,
you
I'm still
really
stuck
were.
on that second level that I was all them years ago. I just cannot get past
I mean,
it.
it's the funniest thing is I have some of like I bought the collections for Contra and Castlevania, 2 of the hardest games of all time, and I'm literally going, yeah, I can't get farther. Like,
Yeah.
I try, but it's like literally, I'm literally, he's still putting the cheat like the infamous Konami code in for Contra, and I'm still not able to get past like I don't know, level 2, level 3.
Yeah. That's
There
something,
was,
you know what? I do want to give them another playthrough at
There's-
some point.
a few videos floating around YouTube. I picked one up a couple of months ago.
Mm.
It was saying about Lion King, and it was saying like obviously first level should be relatively easy. Get on the second one, blah blah blah. It gets to a certain point, you die. You know, you're out your lives, whatever. You've got to go all the way back to the beginning. There is no real checkpoint in it, so you're kind of screwed for that. And it took someone, I think it was 2 days, to go from the beginning to the end with having a life left.
Wow.
And this guy,
Wow.
I think it was like mid-30s, early 40s, and he was like, I remember playing this is like when he was younger, went to pick it back up again and went, no. But yeah, it was a video floating around YouTube, and I was just like, because it come up as one of like 10 hardest games to play.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think there's a simple rule. Like, if you want to talk about hardest games to play, you either talk about From Software or early Konami. Like, early Konami games were insane. I mean, hence Castlevania and Contra. I mean, those games are so hard. I mean, even now, I'm still trying to play, and I can't get past many of them. I mean, the nearest, I think the only one I've got actually okay at was the Game Boy version.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember what it was called, but apart from that, no, I've never been able to get them like any good. Same with Crash. Never been able to get that far on Crash games, but I still love them.
I've been alright at Crash games, you know. I've done fairly well on Crash games.
I guess for certain point, no, sorry, mate, you're done now. Just step away from the game.
Turn it off, go
Yeah,
away.
same.
Do something else. No, I've been fairly alright. Alright. So mine's quite a common one. Like, it's quite an obvious one because I've talked about it a lot of times. I remember being. So I must have been stupidly young because I'm pretty sure I was in like one of them, not strollers. What do you call it? It's like you used to stand up in it as a baby, and you used to like. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it used to like assist you walking. And to be honest, I probably still need one now. But it's I remember watching my older brother and sister playing Super Mario Bros. 3, and it was it's just something that I was watching them play, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. And then I got into it, and yeah, it's just something I grew up playing, and it's something that's always stuck with me. Like, it's a game that I've always been able to go back to and be like, yeah, I've got fond memories of this game. I grew up playing it, and now even for some like downtime, just to escape for a bit, I can jump on the jump on the Super Nintendo, chuck in Super Mario Bros. 3, and just like lose a lot of hours into the day just going over and over the game. I couldn't tell you how many times I've completed it, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's something that I can keep picking up and playing just because I enjoy it that much, and I've got so much childhood memories with it that it doesn't bother me if I play it 1 time, 10 times, 1,000 times. It's something I can just keep picking up and playing.
No, I think that's the exact same thing with me with Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I mean, I have so many happy memories of that game. I think it's like also the music. It just makes you go back to your childhood, and it probably does that
that's
same.
it.
I
Like,
know
I think-
we were talking about Crash and everything. You got Crash 3,
Nice.
the OG Crash 3, and then I've got
2, isn't it?
Crash 2.
Nice.
Yeah,
He hasn't got one because one's hard to find. I know that. One's
then-
hard to find.
The other ones, the other childhood games that I remember that I was speaking about, I was going to say earlier, was one of them was Monsters Inc. Scare Island.
Oh, great game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Quality
I
game.
remember
That
someone
one.
had it on PC. That was quite fun.
It's like what you used to do is you used to play as Sully or Mike, and like there's these little robots around the island, and you'd have to do like little puzzles and then like scare them. And you used to do like little button combinations. So like it'd be like triangle, 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 square, square, square,
Yeah,
X, 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 and then if you did it
circle,
wrong,
circle.
you
Yeah,
did it wrong, you have to start again, which was quite another one. And then the other one was Scooby Doo Cyber Chase.
Scooby-Doo, yeah. Never played that one either.
Scooby-Doo.
No, I
yeah.
haven't
I mean,
actually.
I'm aware of it.
This
It's.
game
I think
was
it's.
a-
I
this game was a
mixed
pain in the
response of that.
bum.
It's basically Crash Bandicoot, but not as good.
It's Scooby Doo, like it's Scooby Doo. Nothing's better than Scooby Doo.
No, everyone loves
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, man.
No, Scooby Doo. Yeah. I mean, it's. I always remember that someone says, and I do agree with it. I actually, no, I think it's Kadikarus. Both of these, I think I come from because I know he's not a fan of the Scooby Doo game of Cyber Chase. So I think he doesn't like the kind of that electronic creature because he calls him like Spindly Johnny or whatever it is. And but then the best bit is he talks about Warped because he says like because obviously everyone knows like whenever you play a Crash game they have this guy speaking out like the developers and all of that coming through,
Yeah.
and he always says like Warped sounds like someone's having issues on the toilet. Trying to put
Wow.
it does.
Alright.
It does.
That's I've not heard anything explained like that before, but fair enough.
Imagine you're sitting there and you're just going, "What?"
That's
You have to you have to hear it. You have to hear it to understand it.
turn that I wasn't expecting. I'm not gonna lie. Right.
Yeah.
There
I
you go.
mentioned Smash. I remember two or three other games as well from a kid. Golden Axe,
Golden
Yeah.
Axe, oh yes.
PlayStation yesterday, and I was like, do I? I can't. It ain't the same. There was Alien Storm, which was really weird.
I love that. I don't know why, but
It was great at the time, but it was a really weird game because it was like, oh yeah, you blast all these aliens and you got this dinosaur and
yeah,
shot.
literally, it's so weird. But yeah, I actually love that game. I completely forgot about that.
There was, what was it? It was actual football.
Yeah, you know what? I picked that up the other day.
It was
One
one of the.
one that's meant to be rivaling Sensible Soccer.
And you know what? Everyone raved about sensible soccer, but for me, it was actual football every single day of the week.
It was a really weird one, but
It just felt better.
yeah, it was because it was on the Mega Drive 1. Literally, you had the little sort of above view. Your guy was this little block, and you had arrows of where he was running.
That's it. Yeah.
Like John was ball, and then every time he sort of shot it, it just went like top bin. It was like okay.
Yeah, you can
And
be
then-
anywhere. It's always going that same direction.
And then when
Mad.
you played PlayStation, it was literally the same, except the players didn't look like a fat block. They just
Nah.
looked skinny, but it was a bigger block. But
Yeah,
it was still running, still with the same thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Oh man, what a game!
Picking something up on the PC as well, you just run round, and we see this ball just go top bin every time. It was like, no matter where you shot, it was like, yeah, top bin. The keeper was like this.
Yeah, literally. I love the
Yeah, you can
animations
do
of the keepers because they used
The
to do
old
it in
physics
2
where they
frames.
used to just like dive like on their side.
Yeah, it used to be, it'd start like that, and then the second frame they'd be like that. Brilliant.
I mean, there is something about old football games actually sometimes, especially like the ones on PlayStation. They are very much like they're all a bit
blocky.
Very.
So blocky. It wasn't even that. It didn't have that many animations. It was literally the first animation when you shot, the keeper goes like that. And then the second animation, the ball's either going in or the keeper's saving it. But that second frame is just like that. There was no in between.
Yeah, it's amazing how it's gone from there to like what it is now.
Oh.
Game. Like the way the graphics have gone, the engines that for it, the animations they've got. Like being like 5, 6 years old playing a game and you're thinking, oh, it's like the best thing in the world, and then like come 33 and you're like,
yeah, looking back on it now, it's like, what? How did I play this?
at the time, because new and you're just like, yeah. And then obviously like mainly football and wrestling games is all I've played.
Yeah.
And you like Warzone, you've got WCW games, you've got an ECW game out there. Then obviously you've got This Is Football, FIFA, actual football,
Pez.
you know, PES.
Football.
Like, yeah. I remember, speaking of football, there was a Alex Ferguson player manager game.
Yes, yes, there was.
I must
I
have been
think,
about.
wasn't it also the England manager football game?
Yeah, there was one of them too.
You're an Ericsson or something.
That's trash.
There was a David Beckham one as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's loads.
Yeah.
Like, all these famous footballers and people in football. Michael Owen's got a game. I've got it on the N64.
I was gonna say, wasn't it Michael Owens? And then there was like
Um,
ones where he managed football teams, like Chelsea one. There was
You had like
Manchester
club
United one.
football, but they was all the same apart from the main menu would have like Man United players or Celtic players, whatever. But the game itself was no different anywhere.
No, but it was actually team, that was it.
Yeah, it was like a game for every club supporter, something stupid like that. But
They had 6. It made no sense. There was Chelsea, Man United, Leeds, Liverpool, Celtic.
I was gonna say Celtic was
And
one, which
Rangers.
is a weird one.
yeah, it was so stupid.
Yeah, that's
like,
definitely for everyone.
yeah,
Absolutely
literally.
everyone. There was no other teams that existed. Absolutely none.
Because they've done 2 versions, didn't they? They've done a club football and then it was like club football 04, 05. And I think 04 and 5, they added 2 extra teams, which I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was like, how can you say it's a game for all football supporters and you're putting in 6 to 8 teams?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
No, but crazy.
Mate, you're right though. Like you go back and play these old games. Like, I'm the same with that. Attitude. I now cannot play WWF Attitude because it just bores us. Like it bores me to death.
No, I think I got. Was that the one I think it is? If that's the one I think it is, I actually sold it quite quickly because I didn't like the amount of characters it had because it had so few. I was like, no, against like the other ones I have, which is actually I think which was no, it wasn't. It was Warzone because I have Attitude Era and SmackDown Tony. I have so many characters. Like, yeah, I like that. And then there was like another one I got. I think it was like Warzone or something, and there were like 4 or 5. And I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. No, it's mad to see how many like wrestlers you get nowadays compared to what we had to put up with.
Yeah, but I remember one of them, you went, I think it might have been Warzone. Like, you'd go for like the Intercontinental title and you had to click all the TVs to like.
Yeah, that was Warzone.
And it was like, you get so far and then you face like Shawn Michaels and it'd be like, yeah, you're not winning this one.
No.
It's like, thanks.
Literally, it's mad, isn't it? Like the whole, you'd start, because you'd have like 4 TVs at the bottom, they'd be easy, you'd build up and up. And you'd be like, oh, I'm winning these matches so easy. And all of a sudden, you face like God reincarnated in Shawn Michaels. And it's like, how does the difficulty spike so? How?
Yeah, that was a problem at that time.
He said top, which would be your challenge. Like, it was easy. But Michaels had to be the most difficult character at the time to beat.
Literally.
Same as In Your House as well, when they brought that out.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had that at WrestleMania, didn't they? The arcade game. And they're all exactly the same. Like you'd do the little run the gauntlet, and then that last couple of matches, you'd have like a 3-on-1 handicap match, and you'd win that easy. And then it'd be like, right, now you're facing the champion, and you've got no chance. It's like, how? How can I just beat 3 people, but I now can't beat the champ?
Yeah, it's like God mode had just been implanted, and it's like that. So
Man, how different gaming was back then.
Yeah.
Madness. But
You got to remember though, like I miss, like I do miss, like whenever I go and play back the old games, like all the nostalgia and everything. Whenever I do play them, sort of like my PS1 games and everything, it's always just like I feel like I'm back in the early 2000s again.
Yeah.
Like when I'm sitting there on my screen, because I'm recently my granddad's picking me up a
VCR.
no, not VCR, no,
VHS.
no. Do you know the old little square tellies?
Yeah.
What is it? VHS? No. What are they called?
Square tellies.
VCR tellies or whatever they are. You know the old
Yeah.
ones. Yeah. My granddad's picking me up a little one of those, and I'm thinking I might just have my old retro consoles and just play it on that instead of a flat screen.
Yeah, they look
I
so
can't
much
play
better
my
on the older tellies.
Playing my PS1
Yeah.
on a 70-inch telly.
It's not
It's
right.
just too stretched. It's too stretched.
No, that's it.
It don't look right. It just doesn't look right. So yeah.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we've got time for. So, is there any games that you people, or a game that you first remember playing that we didn't cover? Let us know in the comment section down below. Remember, thumbs up the video, share it with all your friends, your family, your dog, and hit that subscribe button because there's a lot more content coming from us.
And bell.
And the bell. Turn notifications on, then you don't miss out. Even better. So, I've been John, still your reigning defending undisputed world play fight champion. I've been joined by Regan, Larry, and Alex, and I will see you all. We will all see you all very soon for the next video. So yeah, peace and love to you all, and we will see you then. Goodbye.